I rec- Sir, varla sir. Ma'am, கேக்குதா
Hello. Check. Hello.
Why slow are you?
Check.
Hello. I request all the participants to maintain silence as the chief guest has arrived. We'll start the inauguration soon. Sir, சத்தம் கம்மியா இருக்காமா. Volume raise பண்ணு. Okay, ma'am. I request all the participants to kindly wear your mask and maintain social distancing. Good morning and hearty welcome to one and all present here. Let's all give a standing ovation to welcome our distinguished speakers, Dr. Malsami Annadurai, Vice President of Tamil Nadu State Council for Science and Technology, our Chief Guest of Honor, Mr. Chang He Jan, Chief Operation Officer, HR, Hyundai India Via Private Limited, Professor Dr. Venkatesh Chennam Vijay, Birmingham University, United Kingdom, Mr. Sri Ram, founder of Prime Food, our beloved secretary and correspondent, Chief Patron, Pecteam, Dr. P. Chinadurai, our directors and patron of Pecteam, Dr. Shakti Kumar, and our principal and co-patron of Pecteam, Dr. K. Mani, Pecteam convener, Dr. S. Malati, heads and faculties of various departments and management, scholars, delegates, and students of Panimala Engineering College.
Let's begin this auspicious day with Tamil Thai Valthu.
நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் மதனமென திகழ்வரத கண்டனிதில் எக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு திரை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம்பியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
Kindly be seated. Panimala Engineering College proudly presents 5th International Conference for Pheonixes on Emerging Current Trends in Engineering and Management, Pecteam 2K22, which organizes two conferences, namely AICDE-sponsored International Conference on Intelligent Computing, ICONIC, and International Conference on Emerging Current Trends in Materials, Manufacturing, and Management Practices and Construction Technologies. I take the privilege in inviting our director and Pecteam patron, Dr. C. Shakti Kumar, who is a visionary leader and a catalyst and a success of Panimala Group of Institutions. a great source of inspiration for all young students here. To welcome the gathering.
Good morning, everyone. Usually it's the one we invite the chief guest first, and we invite the people who come from other places, and then our people. But this is the first time I think I'm seeing our own students, and so first of all I would like to welcome you all back to the college, and a warm welcome to you on behalf of Panimalar to Panimalar students. Thank you. And we have esteemed guests here. We have Dr. Mailsami Annadurai. Thank you, sir. Thank you for visiting our institution, and this is the first time you're coming here, and I think it's the first for any scientist visiting, or maybe before once in ISRO when we had an NAFED concert, and we were honored that Mr. Sivam was there via conference, and this is the first time in live you're here, and we are happy to have you here. N number of times you visited our mother institution, Satyabama Deemed University, and this is the first time I'm visiting Panimalar, and we are overjoyed, and we are eager to hear what you are going to deliver to us. Thank you for coming here, sir. And Mr. Venkatesh Chennam Vijay, and this is the second time I think you're visiting here, and he's a man with lots of knowledge, mostly from the European countries, and he's there to share his thoughts here. And Mr. Chang Hei Jiang, COO and HR of Hyundai, we welcome you, sir, and thank you for coming to our institutions. And our close friend Mr. Sriram, founder Prime Fruit, he's been a pillar of strength in many other things which we share personally. And to other people who come from other colleges to participate in this Pecteam 2K22, and I think we did it last in 2020, I think in the month of March, and the past 1 year we were not able to do, and this year we expect more and more ideas, and if we were not able to do it in a grand scale this year, next year we will be doing it in a bigger fashion, where we would be having any more science expos and more people coming in. We would like to do it like a shark tank kind of a thing, and where your ideas are put forth and turned into a real deal. And thank you once again for people who have participated in this kind of event, and thank you once again to our students. For a long time, I think some of you all are first time coming inside the auditorium, and I hope you all have a good time in the college, and more things to be learned from this kind of science expos, and more and more new ideas are encouraged here. And let's see how it goes on in this two days, how much you all pick up knowledge, and all the best to you all, and thank you dignitaries, and thank you everyone. Bye.
Thank you, sir. As a mark of the commencement of this 5th International Conference, may I now request our chief guest and the dignitaries on the dais to light the Kuttuvalakku on this auspicious moment. Let's light the lamp of positivity and walk the miles with courage.
Shubham Kurutvam Kalyanam Arogyam Dhanasampada. Shubham Kurutvam Kalyanam Arogyam Dhanasampada. Shatru Buddhi Vinashaya Deepajyotir Namostute. Deepajyotir Namostute. Deepajyotir Parabrahma. Deepajyotir Janardanaha. Deepajyotir Parabrahma. Deepajyotir Janardanaha. Deepo hartu me papam. Sandhya Deepa Namostute. O Deepa Brahma Rupastham. Jyotisha Prabhuravyayah. O Deepa Brahma Rupastham. धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Let's proceed to the inauguration of Pecteam 2K22. A great pillar of support, a guiding force behind the persistent success of Panimala Group of Institutions, our principal and co-patron, Dr. K. Mani, will present the Pecteam 2K22 report.
Respected Secretary and Correspondent Dr. P. Chinnadurai, respected Directors Tirumadi C. Vijayarajeshwari, Dr. C. Sakti Kumar, Dr. Sanyasri Sakti Kumar, respected Chief Guest, the Moon Man of India, Dr. Mailsami Annadurai, Vice President, Tamil Nadu State Council for Science and Technology, respected Guest of Honor, Chang Ki Chang Hyundai India Limited, Chennai, and the respected Guest of Honor, Sri Ram, Founder of Prime Fort, and the respected Guest of Honor, Dr. Venkatesh Channam Vijay, Professor, Brigham City University, England, UK, and respected speakers of this today's conference, and deans, head of the departments, faculty members, students, and participants. Good morning to one and all. So, Panimala Engineering College is organizing a 2 days AICT sponsored the 5th International Conference for Pheonixes on emerging current trends in engineering and management. As we all are aware that presenting paper in a conference is a great opportunity for the researchers to get feedback from the experts and the attendees. So many researchers, they present papers from their preliminary findings in the conference, and the feedback received from the experts and the attendees will really help them to fine-tune their research work. So in our PEC team 2K22 organizes 2 conferences. The first one is the International Conference on Intelligent Computing, and the second one is the International Conference for Pheonixes on emerging current trends in materials, manufacturing, management practices, and construction technologies. So in this 2 days conference, we have 19 sessions with expert keynote addresses and interactive sessions. So we have received totally 580 papers, and all papers were peer-reviewed and selected 380 papers for presentation. So we received 3 papers from outside India, one from UK, and another one from Taiwan, and one more from Malaysia. So all the selected papers are published in the conference proceedings, and the extended research papers are recommended to the reputed journal of the Institution of Engineering and Technology. So wish you all success. Thank you one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Director, Pecteam Patron, Dr. C. Shakti Kumar to felicitate our distinguished chief guest, Dr. Mailsami Annadurai, with a ponade and a memento. Thank you, sir. Now, felicitation to our guest of honor. Thank you, sir. Now, felicitation to our guest of honor, Mr. Chang Hei Chang, with a ponade and a memento.
Thank you, sir. Next, felicitation to our guest of honor, Dr. Venkatesh Channam Vijay, with a ponare and memento by our chief patron. Thank you, sir. Next, felicitation to our guest of honor, Mr. Sriram, with a ponade and memento.
Thank you, sir. As a token of gratitude, we would like to honor the guest speakers and session speakers. I kindly request our director, patron, Dr. C. Shakti Kumar, to kindly felicitate our juries of Pecteam. Now I request all the jury members to gather near the dais.
Professor T. Udayabanu, DMI College of Engineering. Dr. S. Shekhar, Rajlakshmi Engineering College. Dr. T. Lakshmanan, SRM Institute of Science and Technology. Dr. R.S. Lakshmi, Velamal Engineering College. Dr. S. Srinatha, Velamal Engineering College. Dr. R. Meenakshi, Chennai Institute of Technology. Dr. L. Arunraj, B.S. Abdurrahman, Institute of Science and Technology. Dr. Abhishek Kumar, Jain University, Bangalore. Dr. M. Rajesh, Sanjeevani College of Engineering, Maharashtra. Dr. K. Venkatesan, Sanjeevani College of Engineering, Maharashtra. Dr. S. Srinath, Velamal Engineering College. Dr. J. Rajesh, Deputy General Manager, HR, GAESS, Hyundai.
Thank you, sir. I request our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Mailsami Anadurai, to release the iconic proceeding CD and hand it over to our Director and Patron, Dr. C. Shakti Kumar.
Thank you, sir. Now I request our guest of honor, Mr. Chang He Jang, to release the PECMAC proceeding CDs. Our principal co-patron, Dr. K. Mani, will receive the proceeding CDs. Thank you, sir. Now I request our distinguished chief guest, Dr. Malsami Annadurai, to present the Appreciation Award. I also ask the dignitaries to join the stage. The Appreciation Award goes to the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, particularly Dr. S. Maheshwari, for playing a pivotal role in motivating the students to present several papers in the international forum. Let's all give her a big round of applause for this contribution.
Thank you, sir. Once again, EC department receives the Appreciation Award and developing 32 excellence projects under the guidance of Dr. S.
In successfully organizing Pecteam 2K22.
Sponsored 5th International Conference on Intelligent Computing. Iconic 2K22. The tracks are Evolution of Computing Intelligence, Intelligent Computing Systems, Cyber Intelligence and Security, Intelligent and Bio-Inspired Robotics, Computing and Communication, Wireless Communications, Internet of Things, Process Control and Instrumentation, High-Speed Networks, PECMAC 2K22, 5th International Conference for Pheonixes on Emerging Current Trends in Materials, Manufacturing, Management Practices and Construction Technologies. Emerging Technologies in Materials and Manufacturing, Recent Trends in Renewable Energy and Automotive Engineering, Structural and Construction Engineering, Environmental and Water Resources Engineering, Luminescence, A Light Within. status.
I can see clearly when you're gone.
2022 Conference Papers. AIP Conference Proceeding, Scopus Index Publication.
Dr. Mailsamy Annadurai, Vice President of Tamil Nadu State Council for Science and Technology, Chairman, Board of Governors, National Design Research Forum, the Moon Man of India. He joined ISRO in 1982, worked in satellite missions like INSAT, Chandrayaan 1 and 2. He also served as the Program Director of the successful mission Mangalyaan. He received Padma Shri in 2016, one of the highest credentials of India, and ISRO Outstanding Achievement Award in 2014. In 2003, he served as Associate Project Director for EduSat, India's first satellite dedicated for tele-education. The success of the mission brought him with a lot of appreciation, most notably Space Pioneer Award in 2009. He is also a writer who has authorized 5 books in Tamil. First of these books won SP Adityanar Literary Award in 2013. May I now request our distinguished chief guest, Dr. Mailsamy Annadurai, to address the gathering.
Dr. C. Sakti Kumar, Director and Patron of Panimalar College of Engineering and Technology, Group of Institutions. Dr. K. Mani, Principal and Co-Patron of these 2 conferences. Then other guests, Mr. Chang He Jang, Dr. Venkatesh Chennam Vijay, who came from all the way from Birmingham University, UK. Then my friend and probably one among you, a new group of people nowadays I used to see when I go across. I think Mr. Sriram, you will come to know, probably most of you know, and you will come to know also. He told he is the only person not eligible to sit like that, he told. But I feel people like him are emerging in a very, very big way. The reason being, he didn't get a formal graduation. That's the only difference. Only difference is that. But that doesn't matter, the way in which today's things are going on, as long as you get the things in you, especially when we are talking about this particular way of conferences, 2 international conferences coming together. That itself basically giving a thing. That means one side you are talking about intelligent computing. Parallelly, we are trying to see another group of things which nominally called as the engineering discipline in terms of manufacturing, construction, developments, emerging trends in the construction technology. Then we got material technology. Then all the things put together, the management system, emerging management system. But now you look what is the connection? I think that's what is happening. The connection is, once upon a time we used to talk about the people literary and illiterary. Illiteration, that means people can read and write, people who cannot read and write. But now another term called computer literacy coming. That means whichever the domain you take, you need a computer literacy. But that is only the basic fundamental thing calling for. Just reading and writing alone is good enough, not good enough. We have to do something more in education. I think same thing is happening for the computing systems also. Computer literacy, just knowing how to use the computers, how to make the apps alone, not good enough, and how you can be part and parcel of the intelligent computing. Again, the intelligent computing cannot be on its own. I can read and write doesn't mean anything. For me to live in a routine life, whichever may be the thing, I should connect my literacy to that particular domain. Same is the case. Now you look at here the engineering discipline, whichever the engineering discipline, starting from construction, all the way it could to biotech, bioengineering, aerospace, nuclear physics. You talk anything, I think the computer comes into a picture. Intelligent computing comes into picture. Because when the days of Internet of Things are going on, now the explosion of data is taking place big way. That means the big data of how to accumulate the data, how to understand, what's going on to decipher, and to analyze. I think a lot of things are required there. So that way, I think there is a good opportunity here for you to understand one side the computing technologies, another side how you can apply whichever the domain you are, whether you are in construction, you are in management, you are in material science, how it can be that. எல்லாத்துக்கு மேலே என்ன முக்கியமாக வேணும்னா என்ஜினியரிங் படிக்கிறோம்னா என்ஜினியரிங் படிக்கிறத தாண்டி பியாண்ட் என்ஜினியரிங் ஐ திங்க் வாட் எவர் யூ லேர்ன் கிளாஸ் ரூமில் படிக்கிறத தாண்டி கிளாஸ் ரூமில் கற்றுக்கிறத தாண்டி வாட் ஐ திங்க் ப்ராபப்ளி ரிக்வயர்டு இஸ் யூ ஹவ் டு பிரிங் இன் சம்திங் கால்டு ரிசர்ச் ஓரியன்டட் லேர்னிங். Research oriented learning na, even while learning you should learn how to, whatever you learn in the classroom, I think probably it translates in a slightly different way or totally different way. Why I am telling is, when I did my college days, I will tell you, not even a single word in my classroom it came on the satellite, not even a single word. But today somebody writes a book in India on the satellite. I think honestly, Mailsami Annaduri's name cannot be left out when somebody writes a book on the satellite technology. Why I am telling this? This is what you should learn. Basically, in the years to come, whatever you read, be it electronics, be it computing, be it civil engineering, be it a material science, be it mechanical, be it electrical, be it instrumentation, whatever you read, it need not come when you are when you got the job. Doesn't mean anything. What you learn is how to learn. I think you leave it there. Okay? What you learn will not come exactly the same way, but what you are learning in the classroom, not only the classroom, places like the conferences that come here, you try to observe, try to understand how to learn. I think that is what all the more important. Okay? That is how to learn is more important than what to learn. There is a big difference what you learn versus how to learn. I think that if you do it, years to come, okay, whatever the discipline you go, the disciplines will change every 5 years, like our semiconductor technologies moves, law talks about. It's the density of the components increasing. It's totally the discipline in which you come out, you'll keep changing. But to cope up with that change, you have to learn. But that means that time you cannot come back to the classroom and try to learn. That means wherever you are there, you should learn. So how to learn is what you're supposed to learn here. I think the conferences like this will enable you to do that. That's why when I'm seeing these two combinations of one side intelligent computing, another side possibly a host of other core engineers sitting there, putting together how you can learn, how today they are interlinked, and how it's going to happen there. And now, I don't know how many of you are aware, the COVID, last 2.5 years, many of us got disturbed in a big way. But do you know what? Something happened in a much, much bigger way. The space arena, the number of satellites which launched after the Sputnik 2, just pre-COVID, just to count how many number of satellites were launched and how many are in the space. It is nearly for more than 60 years how many satellites we launched. 50% of the satellites, okay, number alone. But smartness of the satellites are much, much beyond what we launched previous to the last 2.5 to 3 years, number of satellites launched crossed more than 3,000 numbers. Okay, that means today how many satellites are in the orbit? 50% of the satellites were launched last just 3 years. You thinking people are sleeping, you are thinking many things are standstill. It is not. It is the world of space is ready or taking you people ready to the next level of the breakthrough. That means when these many satellites, what they are planning to do, the plan is exactly like whatever the conference we are talking about there. Okay, it is basically, it connects everyone to everyone, wherever you are. Okay, wherever you are, it will connect. Today the cell phones, wherever the cell phone towers are there, its connectivity is there. But this basically the host of satellites coming on the cluster of the satellites will able to connect wherever you are, wherever you are. Not only everyone to everyone, everyone to everything, everything to everything. That means man and machine and machine will be interconnected. For what? Will be interconnected, but interconnection for what? Somebody is investing so much for the interconnection. While interconnecting, after that, what's going to happen? I think that's what is going to happen. When it's connected there, definitely the way in which connection, the wireless communication, the coding, and the way in which each instrument will be getting sensitized, each instrument will have its own sensors, each instrument will have its own smartness, such that it will do its function better way. And you also will get much more what it's supposed to get, the way in which you're connecting. So this sort of interconnection, so then it comes to intelligent computing on their own or other cross the things. So that way, much more thing, like industrial revolution 1, 2, 3, 4 you told. Now we are talking about the 5th generation, 5G is coming. 5G, it's I think basically, it is called taking the domain in a much big way. When that happens, who will do that? People are connected, machines are there, but who will make next level of going? It is the engineers. That means the engineers of tomorrow's requirement, expectations, opportunities. I think it is all multiple domains. You have one side opportunity, you have one side to challenge of are you ready to take opportunity. I think this connections is going to happen in the not for very far. It is already started happening. And when you are sitting here, and at this point of time, you take it your point, you have the plenty of opportunity which none of the previous generations have got. You have the opportunity, but you also have equally big challenge. To make the challenge be ready, you should get ready when in the classroom alone will not be enough. Actually, our director was asking whether NEP will be ready or not. Whether NEP is coming or not there, I think they will try to do, and you are also trying to capture this sort of opportunities and try to go, because the world will not wait for some policy to get. World is keep moving. As in the midst of COVID, I told now, in the midst of COVID, 50% of the satellites launched for previous 60 years were launched during these 3 years. That means something more post-COVID is expected. The new norm is going to emerge much big way. So who is going to take that challenge is none other than basically our own people. And for that, I know Panimalar group of engineers college also already taken the lead. I don't know how many of you are aware. I think with the permission of your director and principal, I will tell you. This is 75th year of India's independence we are celebrating. India is going to showcase to the world how India has emerged during the 75 years as an independent India. When that's showing, in that the space technology also played a remarkably good role where India has been developed to this level. Okay, from nowhere, I think we have come to this level. For that, space technology also played a role. Very many things. Okay, Chandrayaan, Mangalyaan is just symbolic of what we can do around the moon, around the Mars we have done. But beyond that, more than hundreds of satellites are doing for communication, remote sensing, navigation, weather forecasting, even the border monitoring. Very many things are happening. Okay, that means today's national development, satellites are doing a reasonably good job. Having done that, 75th year, India is going to showcase to the world, next generation also ready to take this mantle further. For that, 75 the best satellites done by the students of Indian academia will be flown into the space during when we are celebrating 75th year. This has been declared, this has been announced by none other than Prime Minister of India when he made his latest speech in the UN Council. That means he believed you. And that belief, I think Panimalar management also has taken. And on behalf of you, I think they have signed an MOU to launch one of the satellite for you. I think they have put all the money and other things there, but it is an opportunity for you to do it. This is what I'm telling. This is just symbolically I'm telling, opportunities are coming. But are you ready to take the opportunity? With the opportunity is not just like that, it is giving a challenge also. Within 1 year, you should make the satellite, and the satellite has to be launched, and that should have your name bet there. That is Panimalar College of Engineering satellite. Within the 1 year we made, and it launched, and what the application it will do? In the part of intelligence computing, as a part of IoT, something whether we can do. I think that's the thing. If you keep thinking and keep, for that you observe, you acquire something, get some idea. That's what they told. Get idea. The idea how it can translate it there, and you can see your idea translated into the Panimalar College of Engineering's the satellite, whether it's happening. If it's go, yes, when you are going out with that color, if you go, definitely your next level of thing going go much bigger and bigger. Like your Sidigarikota, PSLV is launched from the launch pad, and it all depends on how much can go. It can go to 400 kilometer, 800 kilometer, 3600 kilometer, 384 to the moon, Mars, everything is possible. Launch pad remains same. As long as it's ready to soar, it's ready to go to that level, the target is which beyond it can go. I think Panimalar College of Engineering is today's quota for you. If you are ready, you can reach the target what you want. I think this particular conference is one such avenue, giving an opportunity for you to get the feeling of that, get energize yourself, forget about what happened in your life until now. From this moment onwards, you think and do many things possible. All my best wishes for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful speech. Mrs. Chang Hye Jan, Chief Operation Officer, HR, Hyundai India Via Private Limited, Chennai. He is appointed HWI as COO July in 2018. He studied in Seoul National University in Seoul, South Korea. His previous assignments in LG Electronics, HR Planning, and Hyundai Via India Business Support. I now welcome Mr. Chang Hye Jan to give some inspiring words.
Nice to meet you to all. Actually, I'm not engineers. I'm the HR person. My background is HR. So my main job is to absorb the talented, the core talented, and then train our company engineer. So even though I'm not an engineer, I am invited here. That's why I feel honored to be a part of a conference. And then thanks again to Panimalar University faculty and students. Hyundai Via and the Panimalar are in partnership from the April 2021 to research and develop cutting-edge technology in manufacturing and in computer vision with deep learning. It was a good experience for our engineers to interact with faculty and students. I'm also happy to be associated with this conference also. I trusted that this conference would bring together the academians and the entrepreneurs and the industrialists for fruitful discussions and share their innovative idea in the field of engineering and management. I believe that this is the right forums to remind that Indian education needs rejuvenations in shaping to new technology, remind that like AI, data science, and robotics, and then cybersecurity. Therefore, every student's mind shall be nurtured to prepare for the challenging in today's the globalized technology. And technology is the changing every day, and it is important to adapt and learn the new technology. But it's also important to see what you can contribute to the society and using the technology. The contribution to the society as an engineer will transform the world and then make it better place for us to live. And Hyundai Via is ready and willing to support Panimalal University and absorb the core talent in this university student. I wish all the participants for your exploration and also the organizer of this Pecteam 2020 a grand success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for inspiring us with the thoughtful ideas. Dr. Venkatesh Chinnam Vijay, Professor, Birmingham City University, United Kingdom. Currently, he leads researchers in vital and augmented reality. His expertise involves teaching embedded systems, adding intelligence to human collaborative robot, modern technologies like augmented and virtual reality in enhancing engineering learning experience. Only with this association, Panimalar Engineering College has signed the membership of understanding with Birmingham University for their faculty and students in the field of artificial intelligence. He has published papers in national and international reputed journals. Now I welcome Professor Dr. Venkatesh Chinnam Vijay to inspire the young professional with his illuminating ideas.
First of all, I want to thank everybody in here, especially from the circumstances where we were, and it's always good to see people in real. And I take pleasure in inviting you all to this wonderful conference. First of all, I want to thank Dr. Shakti Kumar. Whenever I meet sir, he's always very inspiring, very, very motivative. So it's always nice to see him. Thank you so much, Dr. K. Mani, for this wonderful opportunity. And obviously, I would like to thank Dr. P. Chinnadurai. Thank you so much, sir. And one and all, we have Dr. Mailsami Annadurai. My professor is a great follower of him. He is number 3 European professor in knowledge-based engineering. So I feel really proud when somebody like his stat is inspired by an Indian professional. It always makes you happy. So this is a great conference to be part of. The main reason is the co-creation and collaboration. So we have two domains in here, engineering as well as management. So people might think that engineers who produce products or who come up with an innovative idea always think, okay, that's something that's part of what they have built. But when whatever that you produce, it's not sellable and it stays with you in your shelf, and that's of no use. So this kind of conference, brings those kind of co-creation and co-collaboration. So an engineer working with a management expert does more thing, as rightly pointed out by Mr. Chang. Even though he's from HR, the way that he sees young talent, it's something that is very, very important. So similarly, engineers working with management expertise is always vital. That's the main reason the current trend and technology how would be useful. So I wish each and every participant, I wish the people who are supporting this conference to take place, a very, very productive and nice conference. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for inspiring us with your thought-provoking ideas. Mr. Sriram, founder of PrimeFort, chairman of DigiSafe Nations, reputed hacker at Google VRP Chennai. He is an independent security researcher and works with several companies on application penetration testing, founded his own startup PrimeFort Private Limited in 2018. He is listed in the Hall of Fame Apple, BlackBerry, Splash ID, and many more such companies. PrimeFort is a digital security services provider which does all kinds of web application penetration testing and IT risk assignment. I professionally take this opportunity to call upon Mr. Sriram to give some innovative ideas.
good morning to everyone. And it's been a very long time since I've given a talk, I guess. It's been like, this is like the, I've given more than some 700 talks across various colleges. And the only college which I didn't go was mine. So that's why I had to drop out. And then when I was looking at the dais, like everybody was having doctor, and I was the only guy who was having mister. So yeah, that's something about it. So yeah, about me, so my name is Sriram, and I run a cybersecurity company. I don't know how many of you might know me. So I basically into this hacking and all that. Not the kind of person who hacks into Instagram accounts or Facebook accounts. We are more of a person who takes care of security of enterprises, right? Being into this industry for I've been doing this for the past 13 years. I started way back in 2008 or something like that. And I'm the youngest right there, so it's kind of very difficult, right? I'm actually 25 right now, so it's like people were like half of the age were sitting there. So it was kind of nervous at the time. So thank you so much for inviting me once again. And so there's one best thing about, events like this which happens in colleges, right? So the best thing about, the symposiums, these events and conferences and all, right? So I'll tell you something about it. I hope that everybody is actually familiar with Tamil. So yeah. So என்ன ஒரு முக்கியமான விஷயம் அப்படின்னா இந்த மாதிரி ஈவெண்ட்ஸ் this kind of events always excites me because என்னன்னா லைக் ஒரு இன்ஜினியரிங் படிக்கிற யாருக்காக இருந்தாலுமே இந்த சிம்போசியம் இந்த மாதிரியான கான்ஃபரன்ஸில் மட்டும்தான் யூ கேன் பேசிக்லி லைக் எக்ஸ்போஸ் த கைண்ட் ஆஃப் டேலண்ட்ஸ் தட் யூ ஹவ். இட்ஸ் ஆல் ஓவர் த இனோவேஷன், ரைட்? நீங்கள் 4 years of spending engineering and then there's the only place to showcase these kind of things. And when people are coming like this, right, the kind of discussions and the kind of outcomes that comes out of it is like too much, right? I always wanted to be a part of these events. In school படிக்கும் போதுலேருந்து இன்னைக்கு வரைக்கும் I always want to participate in the science exhibition and all that. I didn't score a lot in my school, and like even 10th and 12th. So one thing is that like probably for the marks I have scored, like they wouldn't even have given me admissions here. So that is one thing about it. And the best thing about it is like, as Dr. Miles Sami another sir also said, like this is the second time we are sharing the dais, I guess. I'm super privileged to be a part of it. And one more thing is that these days the industry is not like that. Back in those days, the way it was actually like the time I started learning cyber security and all, basically what I used to Google is that how to hack Facebook, how to hack Instagram. That's exactly how I learned actually. But nowadays that's not the case. You Google anything. You Google about satellite technology. You Google anything about manufacturing process, or you Google about electronics, or you Google about any kind of an industry. So I was a person who was into electronics and then got into hardware. Now I'm into cyber security. Now I'm also running a cafe. So it's like I'm doing multiple things, but one thing that has always helped me is actually internet, right? So you can go to internet anytime and then search all these topics. That is one thing. And the best thing is like it is all about learning the basics. It's not about the technology. You could have multiple technology. You can say artificial intelligence. You can say machine learning. You can say cyber security. You can say satellite technology or whatever it is. It's all about understanding the technologies, right? The basics of technology. If you are learning, even if you are good at C or C#, even now people are still using it. It's not like an outdated language or something like that. People started saying like Python has come, Ruby has come, so C++ is not being used and all. There are people who I personally know who only knows C# and making money in like lakhs and all that. So it's not, nothing is actually outdated. It's just you have a technology, you learn the basics of it, and that basics is what going to get advanced. You take artificial intelligence for that matter. You take machine learning as an example. It's not something which is new. We've been having it for so many years. Now only it's booming. You take blockchain technology. Blockchain, okay, that is again like not something which is new. It's getting enhanced, and that is what coming out these days. So it's all about the basics. Once you start learning basics, and then you have a lot of videos on YouTube, you have a lot of blogs and all that, right? Once you just put 6 months of effort into any of these technologies, and that's it. You will learn the basics. It's not a very big deal. But that 6 months, you need to put a lot of effort. For example, when I started, I used to spend like 18-19 hours a day to learn all these things. It hasn't been an easy journey, but then there is one thing which I wanted to say. And yeah, so this is not, so one thing which I learned, right? One thing which I learned being to college is that what you're learning in college is not actually sufficient. It is all about how are you going to apply all these things. You can learn BTech in computer science, you can learn BTech in cyber security, you can learn any of that matter, but how are you going to apply that practically is what that matters. It's not about what you are learning. It's not about the degree that you have, right? So as I usually tell to everyone, like I learned everything through internet. I don't have a degree. I studied biology in 11th and 12th, and before that I was into computer science, so I don't have a degree. But there's one thing which has always helped me is internet. So whenever I go, like give a talk anywhere, I used to start it this way. So I'm just a poor guy raised by strangers on the internet. So that is one thing which has always helped me. So thank you so much. I hope whatever I said makes sense. If you have any questions, you can ask, and that's pretty much about it, I guess. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for encouraging us with your innovative cognition and deliberation. Let's watch a short video of our guest of honor, Dr. Tayan Etran, Assistant Professor and Leader of Research Group for Marine Research Institute.
Hello, Professor, researcher, to attend this conference. I'm a teenager and very honorable to be invited as a guest of the international conference. So I just want to share my experience about that to attend this conference. First of all, I wishing all the participants, researcher, and professor to attend this conference have good success to begin to discuss this in this conference. So, in my opinion, I very honorable to be invited as a guest of this conference. So, in this conference, there is a good platform for all the professor, researcher to share the experience, to discuss and to contribute the valuable and share the research result to all the participants to attend this conference. And also, I'm happy to share my experience and hope the one time I will come recently to share and to discuss more about that with this conference. Thank you all professor and wish all the professor researcher successful in this conference. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your thought-provoking ideas. Everything begins with an idea. Idea provokes imagination. Imagination thrives for improvement. We now depart to the various venues and share our ideas, imagination, and thereby improve. I kindly request all the participants to be seated until the dignitaries leave. Respective in charges will be guiding you to the respective venues. Thank you all and have a pleasant day ahead.